What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Rundown. I'm your host, as always, Drew Johnson. If you're just checking us out, man, make sure you guys are following us on all socials at the platform DR. You can find myself at Real News 102. And if you're watching this live, man, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel. It really lets me know you guys are interested in the content, and it helps the channel grow, man. It helps my guests reach new audience members, and it helps, like I said, it helps the channel reach a new audience members as well. So keep liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for those who have. But man, we're in week 9, man, and I got it before I start off the show. Shouts out to my guy Ben, man. If y'all don't notice, I got the new lighting, I got the audio, the camera's looking better. So I'm just trying to keep improving on the show, man. You guys definitely deserve the best content. Try to add some things in the background, so don't mind if some things start shifting around a little bit, but you guys for sure deserve it, man. So I want things to look best as possible. But yeah, like I said, we're on week 9. I've been having 3 guests on each week. I do want to say I hope everyone is safe, following the Hurricane Milton. And I'm sending good vibes to anybody that's had to deal with any damage. If I can help in any way, we got a packed show tonight with some kids who really deserve the spotlight joining us. And there's been a lot going on with scheduling and whatnot. So I have someone to rejoin the show to kind of break down that here in a second. So just to give you guys a quick preview of the show tonight, we have one of the hardest workers in the industry, man, who will rejoin the show and kick things off with some Florida high school football talk and more. That's Andy Villamazrzo, man, with SB Live, which is pretty much Sports Illustrated for high school sports coverage now. So glad to have him rejoin the show. Next, we'll transition. We'll have the CEO, man, the acute quarterback out of the First Academy, Salomon Georges, 2025 quarterback. He'll join, as he has a possible record-setting season ahead with the numbers he's put up this year. And he has TFA off to a hot 6-1 start. So he deserves the spotlight. Definitely want to hear from him. And then, we'll wrap things up with a kid I've been following for a couple of years now. He's turned into a ball-hawking lockdown defender. That's Trenton, man, out of Bishop Moore High School. He joins to talk BMC football and recap his impressive high school journey as a junior this year, man. He's making things happen over there. So, all right, man, let's kick it off, man. Definitely want to kick things off strong. Got a man who's just been everywhere, right? Been everywhere this season. That's just what he does. That's Andy Villamazrzo. Let me pull him up here. Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome back to the show, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's up, brother?
Thank you for having me back. And you definitely got a great show ahead with Salomon Georges. I haven't got to see him in person play. I haven't gotten to see Trenton Gunner play. But I mean, those two kids seen a lot of stuff just based on being tagged. And First Academy's doing some really big things this season.
Hey, the First Academy always tagging Andy, man. So I know he's definitely tapped into y'all's content. And Salomon Georges is kind of an under the radar quarterback who kind of set it off in the offseason, but he definitely deserves the spotlight. Same with my guy Gummer too. He's coming into his frame and he's locking down wide receivers. So I'm excited to hear from those kids. But we're gonna kick it off strong with my guy Andy, man. I want to hear from you, brother. Like, how's everything going over there for you over there in that Tampa area post storm, brother?
Well, kind of just luck out being in the Carbon Springs area, which got hit pretty hard by Hurricane Helene. Sponge Docks was flooded by it to where businesses are really trying to rebuild, and they're just starting to open back up, but a lot of them having to kind of go through their inventory or get new inventory, and just seeing the areas like Dunedin and Clearwater and just all around the Tampa Bay area. It's been tough. I mean, you got to wonder, how many of these kids have had to go through being displaced. What have they had to go through heading into, going back to school, getting back to practice, kind of mental health wise. I mean, where not just kids playing football, but the coaches as well, where are they at? This has to be a really tough time because you're, talking about scheduling. I mean, you could be somebody trying to reshape your life with your home, and then you gotta, on top of that, you're being thrown. You still gotta you be the leader of a program. You gotta reschedule games. You gotta figure out practices, and luckily, I know we'll dive into it a little bit more, but the FHSAA earlier this week, given that extra week to where you can play your you can play your district games. It got to be finished by November 7th of Thursday night. But if teams didn't, I know there was just a lot of people, and I think social media pressure, right? I think that and that I think they saw. I don't believe the FHSA doesn't see that stuff. And when you started to see student athletes put that out there, like, oh my gosh, I got to play like.
I seen that, brother. Some kids said they had to play like 3 games, like every 3 days they had a game or something like that.
Yeah, I think one player he was looking at playing 5 games in 15 days.
Yeah, I think we've seen that same tweet, bro. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I think his name's Nick Dwyer. I forget.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah, I said that's crazy.
Well, when you get Hurricane Helen, you get hit by one hurricane, and for Floridians, we get hit by another hurricane, and Hurricane Milton. People were still trying to recover from that first one, and you just get battered with another one just to happen to reschedule games. I'm sure the FHSAA was all over the place, but just from what you know, brother, with the scheduling chaos that's going on, like we said, with 2 hurricanes, some of those games were having to be rescheduled from the first one. What all do you know? What are things looking like, and what's some of the updates you have, brother?
Well, from what I've seen, based on the 2 hurricanes impacting the schedule and where they exactly hit, the first hurricane with Helene, luckily, it went through kind of a region where you don't have a ton of schools, so the rescheduling wasn't going to be something of an undertaking
major.
Like with Milton.
Right.
Hurricane going right through the middle of the state, and I mean that impacted a lot of schools when you think about it, because you're Tampa area, Sarasota, that South Suncoast area.
Polk County got battered, man.
Yeah, I mean, and not to mention Polk County, Orange County, right into the heart of the state. So you're talking hundreds of schools, because that first hurricane, and not to underscore what kind of damage it did over in the Big Bend area, because I know it just missed Tallahassee. It went through like Harris, so that's like Taylor County, but it's rural areas, so you're not. Essentially,
it's not that major. It's not that big of an impact. But when you go right to the middle of the state, like you said, that's a lot of shifting around.
Yeah, and from what we saw, a lot of schools are now having to play on kind of wonky days. I like one game I saw that stood out to me, Specially Fit Academy playing Lakeland on a Monday night. That's going to be October 21st. I saw then Lakeland Sebring, that's pushed to the end of the season. Something I noticed, Drew, is a lot of key district games, which I think this kind of a lot of fun to the end of the season, because how it usually is you play that last week of the season and there is no district games at the end. It's always kind of like a whatever type game. Like if you're gearing up for the playoffs, you have a good opponent. Maybe you have a rivalry game at the end, like Jesuit plays Tampa Catholic usually at the very end. That game always comes to mind for me because it's been going on for probably longer than we've been living. But I mean, it's just like now, November 7th, you're gonna have a lot of meaningful high school football games in Florida getting played, and I think that's fun for us. Fun for us media people, fun for the fans, for the players and the coaches, because now you might see a lot of district championship type games at the very end, which I don't know, maybe that's something they should look into, because you go to the end of the season, and I mean, when you're playing games that are really meaningless, you tend to, you're just kind of, I don't know, meandering your way to it. But with being able to play possible games of meaning at the very end, I mean, I think I tweeted about
Wiregrass Mitchell.
That's a game. I think whoever wins that game is going to be the number 1 seed in 6A Region 3. And, I think I kept looking at that game like they could end up playing West Boca Raton because – and West Boca, I got to see those guys back in the spring. Oh, yeah. Those guys got to have I think they got a dozen shutouts. Like their defense is
Yeah,
lights
defense,
out.
like running back is top notch too. So
Yeah, Mason Mallory's been great.
yeah,
I mean, they're just
he's a dog.
they're yeah, Mason and then his brother Javian. Those guys are, and I think of Wiregrass and Mitchell. I've seen Mitchell, haven't gotten to see Wiregrass just yet. I know they're undefeated. They've been playing really good ball. Coach Canner gives me a lot of, let's just say he always messes with me because he's always wondering why I haven't seen them yet. Coach,
Yeah,
I'm trying, man. I'm
yeah,
everywhere. I'm trying to. I see Wiregrass. I want to see them play Mitchell. Like that's
yeah. Man.
that's
Don't
when I
run
want
the
to see
guy
them.
Andy to the ground, man. He's working as hard. He's working as hard as he can, coach.
I know. Coach Canner's always on me. He's always on me. But yeah, these are some of the games like that stood out to me that are going to be rescheduled to other dates. And Drew, there's a plethora of them that are getting moved over to that November 7th date. And I would just say that when
Hold on, guys. My boy Andy's in his. Hold on, there he is. There you go, Andy. You got kicked out for a second, but we got you back, buddy. No, you're good. You're good, brother.
Alrighty. The schools really quick, that Andy. I saw got majorly impacted.
Oh, no, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
The schools that I saw that got impacted the most, and the games that you're going to see get moved all over the place, are the schools over in Pinellas, Hillsborough, Pasco, Hernando, Polk County.
Oh, yeah.
Those mid or those Central Florida schools like Apopka, Jones. Sanford Seminole, Lake Mary. Just got to see that game on Monday night. Whenever you want me to talk about the games I've been to recently, I got to talk about that one.
Let me, because really quick, guys, I got my guy Salomon Georges in the background right now. He'll be coming on next, but definitely want to hear from Andy really quick. I want to ask you about, because you've been all over the place, man. You just mentioned that Seminole Lake Mary game. Kind of recap that game a little bit. Lake Mary pulling it off behind 2026 Notre Dame quarterback commit Noah Grubbs, looking solid as always. And talk about any other recent matchups, I guess, that's really caught your attention. Like I said, I mentioned Salomon Georgia, the First Academy. They'll be hosting Seminole this week. So many other games that's caught your attention, and kind of recap that game really quick.
Well, I'll jump into that one, and then I'll mention a couple others I've seen recently. But that game, I mean, Seminole not having their quarterback, I gotta say, and I know some people kind of chimed in and said, "Hey, thank you for mentioning didn't have Seminole not having their quarterback." To me, it was so tough to I mean, Lake Mary, great team. Noah is the real deal. I mean, I think he was kind of hindered by 6 or 7 drops in the first half. Grubbs was putting some balls on the money. I mean, he was throwing dimes, and his receivers, I don't know, maybe tough night for him, but the drops definitely didn't help. And I mean, they go into halftime, they're up 12-7, but you had a feeling like it could have been more of a 2-3 score game if Lake Mary's just catching the ball. And Seminole had Jason Williams, the backup start, in Michael Clayton's place.
Is he really hurt, or is he just out for a couple games?
I did not get any clarification on that. I just, I noticed he wasn't in the lineup. He wasn't dressed. Don't know if that's going to affect this First Academy game.
I'll try to get an update out to you guys, but I don't have any updates on that either. So Solomon, y'all.
Yeah. I know. I was going to say, we got a quarterback waiting in the wings. He's probably wondering. He's like, am I going against Michael Clayton? Am I going against backup? Yeah. Well, Solomon, I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have intel on that. But I just know that Jason Williams started, and he did a fine job for somebody that he was a junior varsity starter last year for Seminole, and he had him in the game. I mean, people I talked to that were asking me about the game, I said for 3 quarters, maybe even 3 quarters and a quarter of the fourth, I mean, Seminole's in that game without Michael Clayton. So it makes you think if they have Michael Clayton playing, and
That
it's
would have
not a
been,
knock on the backup. It's just like you got to wonder someone's going to play better offensively, and that game's tighter. I mean, we're talking probably now a 1-score game in the final minutes, and anything could happen because that's such a intense rivalry game. And for a Monday night, Drew, what a crowd! What a crowd! I mean, it took me 20 to 25 minutes to get a parking spot because I was driving around in circles. So it was, it was
lit,
crazy.
huh?
Yeah. Oh, for a Monday night, I said, what world? Is school night and everything, and both schools showed out for their respective teams. So, but yeah, I was impressed by Noah. I do like David Parks. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife for Seminole.
Full package.
Oh yeah, I mean Max Buchanan, Miami commit for Seminole. I liked him. Chase Henshaw, the wide receiver for Lake Mary. Oh, he had some nice catches, man. That one at the back of the end zone right before halftime. I got that one. Woo! My goodness. I said, what a grab.
Y'all be watching that one live for sure. That was a good one there.
Oh, that was nuts. But yeah, I like Lake Mary. But I mean, I think Sanford. I want to see a rematch in the playoffs. I just think we got to see the two quarterbacks for both teams. It would be the same thing if Noah didn't play and then Seminole had their quarterback, and if Sanford won, I'd be saying the same things about Lake Mary. I'd be like, man, they don't have their quarterback. And so on and so forth. Yeah. So
handicap match.
I want to see. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. And then Drew, a couple other games I've seen recently. A couple weeks ago, got to see IMG Academy in Venice. That was the
game.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean,
21-16. Especially with Venice giving up near 70 points a game. Hey, shouts out to their coaching staff. They locked up there when they needed to, for sure.
Well, Drew, I'll say this. This is how I viewed the game. And talking to Coach Billy Miller with IMG Academy after the game, Venice played uncharacteristically of how I've seen them play. And I feel like I'm somebody who's seen Venice play probably too much lately. But I know the style they like to play, and that's no huddle. I mean, Coach Peacock, they like to. Oh yeah, I mean, every time they get a first down, Drew, you hear a race car, like it's a first down. It's like a race car noise where it's like zoom. So for them to go like methodical, run the play clock down to like 5 seconds and snap the ball. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of weird, but I think that was their game plan. They wanted to keep the ball away from Ty Hawkins, away from their offense. And, but Coach Miller said to me after the game, they kind of played to how we wanted them to play. We were hoping they played to our pace. And that worked out for us because we like to play methodical. We like to play slower. We don't play tempo. That's not our thing. But it did make the game close. And honestly, I think 2 Venice drives, because they got a kicker, Drew, and I think I said it that night. Bruno Reyes, this kid, he's going to kick in the NFL. I'm telling you, this kid.
It's a statement right there.
It is a statement, but I'm telling you, this kid made a 45-yard field goal. It went over the top of the field goal post. Like it was over. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Leg talent is clearly there for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, accuracy.
Okay.
So this is what I'm going to tell you is 2 drives. I think one in the first half, they opted to go for it on a 4th and 2. They didn't get it, but they were in field goal range with this kid, because I think it would have been like a 53-yard field goal but with this kid, I mean, that means you're in range because he could make it from 65. So they decided to go for it. So that's 3 points I think they missed out on. And then they had another drive in the red zone. I think it was at the 2-yard line. It was 4th and goal, 2-yard line. They opt to run Winston Watkins on a wildcat play.
Yeah.
They get stuffed. And that's another 3 points. So what was the score? What was the score, Drew? It's 21-16, right?
Yeah.
2 field goals. points. You lost by 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I all I'm saying is I think if they go for those field goals, you make that a game where IMG's gotta make something happen at the end. But woulda, coulda, shoulda at this point. But that was kind of my observation out of it, is like, no matter what, people could look at that score and just say maybe IMG controlled that, but I think Venice had a shot to win that. Absolutely.
Yeah, hell of a game. Hell of a game. I think shouts out to Venice and Coco for battling IMG for sure. It looked a little different, but both teams definitely battled their asses off. But Andy, I'm gonna have to let you go a little bit short here. I got a couple guests waiting on me now for sure. They piling up on me. I know Salomon's waiting. Trenton just joined, so I had a few more questions for Andy. I have him back on. I want to talk some Mr. Football. I want to talk some of these top 2025 teams too. So, but he'll be on tonight on his own show. He'll be live tonight at 8 p.m. So, Andy, thank you for joining the show, but let the people know where they can find you at, brother.
You can find me on si.com /high school and check out all the content on our website. Everything from Florida to heck all the way up in Maine. Got a lot of stuff I'm writing about. I know, it's crazy. And then you could on X at Andy _Villamarzo and see what the heck I'm reposting, I'm tweeting about. And hey, Drew, keep up the great work. Love the show, man, and love to come back.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. Much respect for what you do, bro. We'll definitely have you back on, Andy. Thank you, brother, for joining.
Right. Thank you, Drew.
Peace, brother. All right, guys, that was Andy Villamazrzo. Definitely one of the hardest workers in the game. For sure, have him back on. Just glad to have him rejoin the show to talk some Florida football. He's all over the country for sure. But I've had him, my next guest. He's been waiting on me for a while now. The CEO, man. This is the guy, right, for the First Academy. He's been balling, doing his thing. Class 2025 quarterback, Salomon Georges. Thank you for joining, brother.
Thank you for having me.
There he is, man. My bad, brother. How's you waiting for a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Me and Andy went over a little bit, but that's my guy, man. But let's talk about you, man. You got TFA right now. You guys are nearly undefeated with a 6-1 hot start. And you've been lighting it up, man. Let me get it right. You got 2,135 total yards with 21 total touchdowns right now. While playing some tough teams, right? Y'all not just playing rooter poop. So just talk to me, man. How's the season felt for you leading this team, brother?
It felt good leading this team because we just came together and just like been playing for each other. Like, I know some teams probably play for our stats, some teams probably play because of themselves, but we came together as a team and just play ball and win games.
Now, really quick, man. New guest, young man. So I got to start things off right for the rundown. For those that don't know, give us the quick rundown real quick on how you got into the sport, specifically playing the quarterback position.
So I'll say watching my dad and my uncle play in a flag league, just like after I was a baby. So that just like inspired me to play like them and want to be a quarterback.
Yeah. So it's in the genes, the quarterback. So the quarterback's in the genes. Pops was a quarterback? Okay, yeah. Cool. All right, cool. So I don't know if he played like you, though. You know what I'm saying? You got dual threat kind of style. Your numbers looking impressive, even after the move over to TFA. Just talk about what kind of work you put in during the offseason. And, how did this 7v7 circuit, I got my eyes on you with 24K. How did that 7v7 circuit, kind of help you develop? And what were some of the things you got in during the offseason with your trainers and whatnot?
So basically, I just was practicing with my coach, and we figured out the stuff that I needed to work on, which was me putting the ball further from my receivers and them being able to go get it. So that's what I basically did during the offseason. And then just recovering from last season, just to keep on improving my body and enhancing my work. Then I'll say me and my coach, Coach Moffitt, we been dialing down in the film room just because of the stuff that I did last year to work on this year, which was my footwork and getting out the pocket if I have to, making the on-the-run throws.
Now, Salomon, your camera is skipping a little bit, but they can definitely hear you. It's going to look good. It's going to be good. But I just want to let you know for when you watch it back over. But it looks good and you sound good. But really quick, man, sometimes, like I say, sometimes the best talent flies under the radar, bro. Like, do you feel like you've been playing with that kind of underdog chip on your shoulder this season?
Yes. I that's how I feel.
Yeah, talk about it, bro. Talk about it, man. How you feel like you an underdog? You trying to show everybody? No, I'm the real deal too. You feel me?
Yeah, so how I feel like just because I'm an underdog, I still got to put in the work, and I know I'm gonna get that shine later. So then I just got to keep my head down and keep growing.
Mm, mm. And let me ask you, bro. Like when you say that, when you got the underdog mentality, and you come into these games, you putting up the numbers like you do, but what do you think? College coaches or scouts might be missing when they watch a game, or what do you think they're overlooking when they watch a film? And what do you feel like you bring to the table that they need to see, and that you feel like you can provide to some of these schools at the next level?
I feel like they're missing opportunity, like having a actual quarterback that be able to run a
Yeah.
real offense and be able to like score points and put points on the board.
Mm, mm. And do you feel like people might be, they see the dual threat abilities, but you got to have accuracy, right? Like you said, your coach been working on you leading your receivers. Do you feel like people are sleeping on your arm talent?
Yes, I feel like they've been sleeping on my arm talent because all they see is me being able to escape pressures and all the other stuff that come with it. But they don't really see me like drawing up zones, beating
Right.
man defenses, and just being able to be under pressure and still get the ball to my receivers.
Mm, that's key, man. That leads into my next question, because your ability to read defense has been key, to your success this season. You got some talented receivers and Demetrius McCray and the Evan James kid. But like I said, your ability to dissect the defense and make quick decisions is important as a quarterback, man. So talk about, what's your process when you're breaking down the defense, kind of both pre-snap and during the play?
I just my coach taught me how to like see the safeties, and that will tell me everything. So just
Mm,
being able to read the safeties and what they do, it helps me just play how I play.
mm. Now, my guy did make a move over to TFA this year. They looking solid, right? They got stars and dogs on both sides of the ball. I just mentioned two of their receivers. They got Chester Barclay at lineman, a 4-star offensive lineman. So they got guys, Aiden Hall and linebacker, leading that team in tackle. So they got guys on both sides of the ball. But let me hear it from the leader, the quarterback, man. Who are some of those guys, on your team that you feel like deserves the spotlight, bro?
I feel like it should be everybody for real, but I just
Mm,
want to give a shout out to my center because he's
yeah.
like the real underdog of the team that makes everybody better and like a special gem for us.
Is that Noah? Is that the Noah kid, or which one is that?
That's Noah.
That's Noah Devine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, shouts out to him, man. They got a solid offensive line. I just seen TFA put out a post about him today. He definitely deserves a spotlight. I thought he had a little bit more traction on the recruiting trail, but some of these schools be sleeping, man. That's the name of the game. But let me ask you, Salomon, bro. Like I said, your numbers looking real good. You got potential to have a record-setting season this year with TFA. So just talk about it, man. What's some of your goals for the rest of the season, both on the field and in the terms of gaining more recruiting attention and pushing for the playoffs as a team? What's some of those goals you want to talk about, man?
The goals I have is for us to just come together even more and build like a bond for after the season and just
Yeah,
being able to increase like our playing ability with each other and
yeah,
just being able to shine together basically.
yeah. Talk about that transition really quick, man. I want to ask you that. How's the chemistry with the guys moving over? How's this coaching staff? You know what I'm saying? What's the chemistry looking like? What's the energy looking like over there for TFA? It looked good on the outside, but I want to ask you, for somebody that's leading the program, what's the chemistry and energy look like over there at TFA, bro?
The chemistry that we have, it comes from both sides of the ball, from Noah being
Mm,
our center, Noah Devine being our center, and Noah Maddox on the defensive side. They bring the
Lord.
energy every single day, and just like their leadership helps the team, and even mine, like me being able to communicate with my team and tell them that we need to fix this or we need to do this to help us beat these teams, and that'll just bring us together. And then the stuff that we do outside of football, like we go places with each other and have fun and just
Yeah.
build that bond.
Team bonding, man. Team bonding. Let me ask you though, when you're going against guys like Noah Maddox, you're going against Devin Jackson, Florida commit DBs, you know what I'm saying? Aiden Hall out there tackling anything that move. Does this help you, you know what I'm saying? When you play against other competitive squads, y'all guys went out all the way out the state to play a team, then come out the way, but y'all competing against some of these top teams around the country, not just the state, right?
Yes.
How does it, battling against these kids throughout practice, how does that help you on Friday nights?
That helps me a lot because knowing that they the best people on defense and knowing that I have the best team like on offense, it just makes us go at it every day and just being able to get each other better because not one side just wins, both sides we be battling. So that's what really is about.
And really quick, I want to ask you, man, for the college coaches that's watching, Salomon, let them know, like, what can you provide at the next level and what can you bring as a young quarterback recruit to some of these D1 and some of these D1 programs?
Being able to get the ball out fast, reading defenses, and just making plays with my feet if I have to.
I appreciate that, brother. We're going to transition really quick. I got a Drew's Fast 5 for you, man. I got 5 quick questions for you, and you answer them as quick as you can, best of your ability. All right. First question. Favorite football player of all time?
Michael Vick.
Oh, come on, man. There we go, man. Still some love for Mike. Favorite pregame song?
Lil Baby, Something to Prove.
Ooh, my boy got something to prove. You feel me? Favorite post-game meal?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. You can't go wrong with Chick-fil-A, man. You can't go wrong. All right. If you had one superpower, what would it be? Ooh.
I'll say.
That's a tough one. Ooh.
I'll say speed. Yeah, speed.
Super speed? Yeah, I done got that one a lot. Hey, quarterbacks, they want to be able to move out the pocket, get away from DN, super speed. We'll give it to them. All right, let me ask you, bro. From you, what's your best attribute on the football field?
I'll say my decision making.
Decision making. Hey, man, that's Drew's Fast 5 with Salomon. Really quick before I have you hop off, brother. Y'all got a big time game this week, man. Hey, coming off a bye week, you know what I'm saying, with the hurricane and whatnot. We've had some crazy weather out here. But y'all got a big one this week at home with Sanford Seminole coming to town. They just lost to Lake Mary, so I know they're going to have that chip on the shoulder too. Like, they want to double back. They don't want to lose 2 in a row. I don't know if Michael Clayton's playing or not, but the backup looks solid. So they're going to definitely give y'all some competition. But just preview that game a little bit. What's the talks like with the guys a couple days away from the game, brother?
Just being able to break down film when we're in the study room and just, like, knowing their tendencies. That's basically what we normally do. And we just play how we play.
Just another game? That's the mentality? Just another game?
Just another game.
That's what I like, bro. That's what I like. That's Salomon Georges for y'all, 2025 quarterback out of the First Academy, man. Definitely want to have this brother back on to give y'all an update on his recruiting status, man. These college coaches is gonna start waking up, right? They're seeing the record, they're seeing the numbers, but once they start getting their eyes on this kid's film, not just from this year, from last year too, right? He's been done it for consecutive years. He's got it done at the high school level, so he deserves the spotlight. That's why I wanted to have him on the show. So, well-spoken kid with a bright future. Thank you for coming on, brother. Just let the people know where they can find you at.
They could find me at Salomon Jr. Georges on Instagram.
What's for his Twitter? I got his Twitter right here, y'all. I'll put his Twitter up for y'all. I'll put his social media up for y'all. It's Salomon JR17. That's on Twitter. Make sure y'all guys are following this kid, man. He deserves the spotlight, right? His coaches rave about him. His teammates believe in him. And he has his team off to a 6-1 start while playing some tough competition. So definitely deserves the spotlight. Make sure y'all are following him and supporting him on his journey. Thank you for joining, brother. We'll definitely talk after this, and I'll have you back on the show for sure, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Bright future ahead, man, for sure. Good luck, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Hey, man, that's Salomon Georges right there, 2025 quarterback. Like I said, I got my eyes on him throughout the offseason with 24K. Just to watch him transition over to Friday nights with TFA, had him off to a hot start. He deserves a spotlight, so make sure y'all guys are following that kid, man. But all right, man, I got my last guest, right? A kid I've been following for a couple of years now. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's turned into a ball hawking lockdown defender. Just glad to have him on and give him the spotlight he deserves playing out of Bishop Moore High School. Welcome to the show, everybody. Trenton Gummer. What's up?
What's up? How are you?
Yeah, what's up, my boy? Like I said, man, much deserved. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Pops. You know what I'm saying? This kid right here, he has it in the genes for sure. But talk to me, man. How's everything going over there for you, bro?
Yes, sir. It's good. Just came off our game. Obviously, the Hurricane. We had our game on Monday, so we got a dub real quick on senior night. So that was good. Looking forward to game on Friday too.
Yeah,
so
sending off the seniors good. Got to send off the seniors off good, man. That's how you do it. But let me ask you, bro. Like I asked Salomon, right? New guest on the show, so we got to kick things off right for the people, man. Kind of give us a rundown on your background a little bit. You know what I mean? How'd you get into sports? I know your brother plays college ball. You know, it runs in the genes, but just talk about it, man. What's your background and how'd you get to this point today?
Yeah, like you said, it runs in the genes. Been playing football since I was as young as I can remember. Started when I was 3. Kept playing all the way. I moved to Ohio, played there, came back, still playing. Just been playing my entire life. Just something that I'm always gonna have with me.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's in the genes for the Gummers, man. And really quick, it's not his camera. It wasn't Solomon's camera. It's me. It's on my end. I usually have my little internet thing plugged in, but I didn't plug it in tonight. So if they're skipping or I'm skipping, it's all good. The audios will be there. I'll do my editing, so it'll sound good. But I want the best content for you guys. But really quick, not Salomon, but Trenton, bro. Like I said, it runs in the family. You're doing your thing this year, but let's talk about it, man. You developed into one of my favorite 2026 DB risers in the game, man. You're having a productive high school career so far with Bishop Moore. So just tell me, man, how you feeling? How are things going on the field right now for you?
Yes, sir. Got injured in the kickoff classic at the beginning of the year. That was one thing that was rough to start the year, but just came back, got back in time for St. Thomas game, which was our biggest game of the year. So that was obviously exciting. Been balling out since then. Started out right now. I'm at 10 tackles, 8 PBUs, an interception, and just looking forward to keep balling. Excited for the rest of the season, especially as we get into the playoffs, because I know we have a chance to make a run.
Yeah, no, that's a dog, right? Definitely led the team last year as a sophomore in INTs. I know he wants to break that INT record over there at Bishop Moore High School.
Yes, sir.
But let's talk about it. Yeah, I know, right? It's coming, bro. It's coming. If you were putting in the work, man, you know what I'm saying? I saw you a lot as well during the 7v7 circuit with Gridiron Elite and working with DB coach Rod Lindsay. But just talk about, you know, what does your off season look like? And, you know, how do you feel your game evolved from last season to now?
Yes, sir. Definitely put in a lot of work this summer. That was the goal that you got to take to the next level during that time. But got a lot of people that I was working with, like you said, Coach Lindsay, Coach Lowe. Those are my people. They've been my trainers since I was young, and I kept working with them. They're good guys, develop players really well. Started going to a new place, Draft Academy. They've been taking a lot of Orlando athletes, a lot of studs. So that's just what I need to do. I knew that's what I needed to do to get better. And then going into this season, everything I've gotten better at, everything, just improved my speed, my strength, my ability to track the ball, my feet, my football IQ, everything. I just wanted to make sure that I was ready for the season.
Yeah, and let me ask you, we know the 7v7 circuit kind of helps with your skills kind of translate during the season, but, you know, talk about how do you like the 7v7 circuit and, you know, how do you feel it helps your game, you know, when you're out there on Friday nights lining up some of the top receivers?
Yeah, I love 7-on-7. So it's just a good experience to go out there with my boys, obviously a ton of people that I'm friends with, just get out there and compete because realistically you're going up against the best and there's no running the ball, everything's passing. So you get the reps in, that obviously prepares you on the field because now since there's no running, you gotta do your job every single play. So by doing that, you're able to get those reps in, perfect my craft. And then now when I'm taking it to Friday, I can ball out because I have that experience under my belt. So
yeah. Now Trenton, to play defensive back at the high level, you got to be a dog, right? You got to have that dog mentality in you. So really, in your opinion, you know, what makes someone a dog? And do you think you've earned that title?
Yeah, I would definitely say I earned that title. I think that you just need to have that confidence in your ability. Like you can't play this position and be scared. I feel like you got to be confident in your abilities and know that you're going to make plays no matter what happens out on the field because realistically, you're going up against receivers. You're playing the hardest position in football. So, and you just gotta, especially in Florida, there's a lot of talent here. So you just gotta be a stud. And if you're not a stud, then you're gonna get cooked. And I feel like I proved myself in this area.
Yeah, I agree. DB is definitely the hardest position. Well, quarterback too, but defensive backs, in my opinion, is the hardest position on the football field. Nobody runs backwards naturally, so to develop that skill, it's tough, bro. And you got to have that next play mentality, right? To be a dog, sometimes you might get beat, whatever, but you got to have next play mentality. So, man, let me ask you, man, what coverages do you like more? Do you like the press and man coverage? You like to sit back in the zone and make high IQ plays? What kind of coverages do you like, and what aspect of your game are you most proud of?
Yeah, I'd say our team, we run a lot of zone coverage, but then once like the red zone, we like to switch it up. But realistically, I like to play. I like getting underneath. I like making tackles. I pride myself in my ability to make tackles. So obviously, I like playing the zones where I can go up and get or jump up for them interceptions. But I'd say I like being involved in the tackling and stuff like that too. So when I can get into the man, cover two, the stuff where I can make the IQ plays and make plays on the ball, that's where I like being. So I'd say, and that's why I pride myself in. You said, so what are my skills? I feel like I can really make high IQ plays, make plays on the ball, get our team the ball, and that helps us get the win. So that's what I like doing. I feel like I can do that more in like man and then like cover two coverage and stuff like that.
Yeah. A DB that's not afraid of man, ball hawking skills, high IQ, and likes to tackle, man. That's kind of the full package right there. There's some talent in this 2026 class around the board, no doubt. But, you for sure got the skills in the background to handle the next level, right? And yes, for the college coaches watching, I kind of gave them that preview right there, full package. But what do you feel like separates yourself from other defensive backs in your class, man?
Yeah, I would say definitely the part that I'm fast and physical. And I would say definitely my football IQ and my ball skills, because realistically, if you don't have that football IQ on the field, then you're not going to be in the position to make those plays. You can be as fast as you want. You can have jump out the building, but if you're not in the right spot, then it doesn't matter. So I feel like being able to understand the offense, understand the people you're going against, and I feel like that none of that really matters. So I feel like you gotta be able to understand the game at the next level. So I feel like that's why I'm always in the position to make a play.
Big time. Then you watch film, bro. Be real. You watch film that kind of help you prepare.
Yes, sir.
Before the game, yeah. Go ahead, talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we watch film with our team and stuff like that, but you got to do it outside of the team too. Like you got to be when you're watching with the team, you're talking about what their entire offense is doing. You got to talk about everything that they're doing. But when I get by myself, I can just watch who I'm going to be going against all game, see what tendencies I can learn, what they like to do, and then that helps me make plays on the ball and help our team win the game. That's big.
Yeah, there you go. All right, man. But really quick, before we close out, I want to ask you, what personal goals do you have? I know you want to break that INT record, but you got injured to start the season, but that don't matter, right? You can pick it up here. But what goals do you still have for yourself? And what goals do you have for this team, man? We kind of talked about sending off the seniors in a good right. Shout out to my guy, Bjorn Jurgensen. Some of these Alex Freeman? He's a senior as well.
Alex Freeman.
Yeah, so there's some kids I know, some of these seniors that deserve to be sent out the right way. So what's the personal goals for you, and some goals for this team, man?
Yes, sir. Like you said, I want to break the interception record. Still got the time to do that. So I think I need 7 or 8 to break the record. So it's going to be difficult, but gotta get back out on the field and get ready to make those plays. But definitely it's a goal for the team. We've been preparing for this all off season. We built bonds. We did everything right that we needed to do to be in this position. So I think we're carrying ourselves well. And as we go, we have 3 more games. And then once we get into the playoffs, I think that we're going to be rolling. So I feel like we have a chance to take it far. And obviously that's the end goal, is win a state championship and send the seniors out the right way.
Yeah. And still some time left as a 2026 prospect. But I see you tweeting out some graphics here and there every other day. But any schools reaching out any more than others right now at the moment?
Yes, sir. I'd say right now, Coastal Carolina and App State have been really, really heavy on me, as well as the Ivy Leagues. They've been, obviously, academics is a big part of it too. So you got to handle your business out on the field and in the classroom. So the Ivy League schools have been reaching out. And, yeah, right now it's Coastal and App State. Those are two big, really big ones for me.
Coastal and App State, man. Shouts out. Don't miss out on my boy, man. Really quick, let's do Drew's Fast Five. I'm sure you heard my boy Salomon go crazy. It's time for you, man. I got 5 quick questions for you. Answer to the best of your ability. So let's start it off. Favorite football player of all time?
Deion Sanders.
Deion. Hey, that's a DB, right? So there we go, Deion. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're watching Deion old film. The cover skills are there, right? Lockdown DB.
Freak athlete.
Yeah, there you go. He's a Noel, so hey. Favorite pregame song, brother?
I say Trophies by Drake or There You Go by Kodak.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Favorite post-game meal?
McDonald's.
Hey, oh, there you go, boy. Trent's baby.
That's the only thing that's open by the time the game's over.
You can't go wrong with no fresh McDonald's. I don't care what nobody say.
Yes, sir.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
I'd say probably see into the future.
Oh, I have not got that one yet. I have not got seeing in the future yet. As a DB, this guy wants to see what the quarterback's going to throw so he can go break the damn INT record, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right, best attribute on the field.
I'd probably say again my football IQ. I mean, there's not many people that can pay attention to the game and understand at the level that I do, and I feel like that really sets me apart from most other players.
IQ, man. I'm sure you're going to be a hell of a leader next year in your senior season. Definitely is a bright kid, right? Bright future. Pop stays on him, really good pops. His brother plays at college level as well, so it's there, right? Not much holding this kid back. Like you said, gets it done off the field, handle what he needs to on the field. So the offers will come as they see his film more, as he's on the field more. But I really appreciate this kid for joining. Like I said, I've had my eyes on him for a couple of years. Definitely deserves a spotlight. He's been on a couple other shows where I wanted to have him on mine. I want to have him on again, too, because I want to make sure everything's right. I don't like this video skipping the crap. It's going to be a good show, but I want everything right, and these kids deserve it, man, especially this one right here. So really quick, Trenton, man, close this out really quick. Thank you. Like I said, thank you for coming on. Thank you to your pops. Tell pops I said what's up for rocking with me for the last couple of years, but let the people know where they can find you at, brother.
Yes, sir. On Twitter, you can find me at Trenton Gomer, and on Instagram, you can find me at Trenton Gomer too.
Man, really big thanks to my guest, man. Shouts out to Andy Villamazrzo, Salmon Georges out of the First Academy, and Trenton Gomer here, 2026 DB out of Bishopmore High School. Definitely going to be keeping eyes on you guys throughout the season. These are talented kids that deserve the spotlight. These two right here, right, are kids that deserve the spotlight. I feel like are hidden gems, especially for some of these colleges and state. He mentioned Coastal. He mentioned App State. But where's FIU? Where's USF? Where's FAU? Like, these offers should already be in. Like, they should already have offered these kids. But it's okay. You know, it can be oversaturated in Florida. That's why these schools from out of state come in and get gems like kid. But thank you for coming on, brother. Bright future ahead. Definitely want to have you back on once this recruitment starts picking up. But I wanted to introduce the people to you on the rundown so they know who you are. We can turn this content up for you. So close out for me. Well, he gave you guys the social media, so thank you for joining, brother. Definitely, I'll talk to you after this, and we'll have you back on for sure.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Man, hope you enjoyed it, bro. We'll talk after this, man.
Yes, sir. Of course.
My dog. Yeah, that's my dog right there, man. Like I said, I've been having eyes on him for the last couple of years. He had locked down in 77, and just to watch him do it, he did it last year. Like I told you, he led his team in INTs last year. This year took a bump, getting hurt in the beginning of the season, but he still has an opportunity to break that record. If he don't do it this year, man, I'll tell you, that senior year for this kid, it's going to be crazy. We're going to put the size on. He's going to be in the weight room. He's going to be put with Coach Lindsay, getting his technique even more better. So he has a bright future. Like I said, his brother's already playing college ball. So shouts out to the Gunners. Shouts out to my guest tonight. Really fire show tonight, man. I hate that it was a little skipping and whatnot with the internet connection, but I got my lighting, I got my microphone, the camera's looking better, the content's coming together. So make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate for those that do. More you like and more you subscribe lets me know you guys are enjoying the content, and it helps the channel grow. Helps my guests reach new audience members as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. See y'all next week. Peace. Stay on, Trenton.